All right. We should be live. Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's not popping up live yet on my phone, but let us know if you can see us. It normally takes a little bit, but we are here with the amazing Elsie Silver with the small town romances that we all love. We will go around and introduce ourselves, and we'll say our favorite book of yours.
Oh, okay.
I know it's on the spot. I know.
Perfect.
It takes no effort.
There
You
we
want
go.
to start?
Go ahead.
My name is Cheyenne. My channel is That Tall Book Girl and Heartless all day, every day. I will never stop. Yeah. You knew that, though.
I am Morgan from Nothing Better Than a Book, and Flawless is my favorite.
Yes. Yay.
I'm Jessica. And I don't know. I want to say Powerless is my favorite now.
So. Ooh, wow. A full split in here. I love it.
I know it's a hard question, but do you have a favorite of your own books?
I feel like just because Powerless is so new right now, that I kind of trend in that direction. And I do really love their story, but I also go back to Flawless just because I had so much fun writing that book, and I really love the cover photo. So, that one, I go back to that pretty often, probably. And it was like kind of the book that changed things for me. So I'm super attached to it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm Elsie. By the way.
We know that.
Yeah. Yeah, we know that.
Perfect. There we go.
I will say I gave every book 5 stars in the series, so I do love them all.
Yeah, but it's like you always have favorites or favorite tropes or favorite characters.
They're also different too.
Yeah, they are different. I was actually worried about that with Powerless. I was like, oh, is this too different? But it worked out okay. Yeah. It was good.
Yeah, Friends to Lovers is one of my absolute favorite tropes, so I was just obsessed with that whole book.
People either love it or hate it. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, it's fine. I was going to say, this comment says that this person read 6 of your 8 books in the past 2 weeks, which is a lot.
Oh, I love that. Congratulations. I love it.
So I got to listen to the audiobook, which was absolutely phenomenal for Powerless. And this was your first dual release, right?
Yes. Or like as close as I could get. I wasn't quite done early enough to do a pre-order, so I just submitted it to ACX and did a little rain dance to the Audible gods that it would kind of time up. Usually it takes 10 business days, and I gave them exactly 10. And then I think my first 2, it was 8 days. So I was like, okay, I was hoping for the Thursday before release so that it would whisper sync on release day. And it came out on the Wednesday, I think. So it was pretty close. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Was this release experience different because you had it dual? Do you think that you preferred doing that? Did you notice a difference with your readers doing the audio with the paperback?
Yeah, I think audio is just growing so much right now. And it's funny because even at school pickup, there'll be moms that I talk to and they're like, oh, I don't really read, but I love listening to audiobooks. So I think it's just people are busy. And finding the time when you're not already a reader to sit down and read, you just tap into a whole different group of readers with audiobooks. And of course, the buzz kind of extends to the audiobook that way too. We could use little clips of Teddy's voice, which was really fun. And toss in some giveaways with codes and stuff. So it's definitely, I think it's the way to go. It's just a matter of getting your production schedule far enough ahead that you can pull it off.
Yeah.
So I can't be as disorganized anymore.
I'm very impressed with authors who do dual release because I know you have to get it super far in advance so that they can record it and then release at the same time.
Yeah, it's 6 to 8 weeks. 6 weeks is a little tight. I think 8 is ideal. And it's actually Catherine Cowles who was you have to get into audio and you have to do simultaneous releases. And I remember being kind of you don't know what you're talking about. And now I'm okay, you might have been right. You might have known.
this, like, I really liked. I don't know if you had any say in doing that, but at first I was like, what is happening right now? And then I realized what you're doing. I was like, that is really cool. And I don't think I've heard any other books do that. So if anybody didn't listen to the audiobook, it had like a different sound to it when it was a flashback so that you could know when it was a flashback. So
yeah, that's so interesting. I'm so happy to see people commenting about that. And it's not the first time it's come up. And I think it was kind of born, my producer is really happy with it because I think it's kind of born of like, before getting into producing audiobooks, I was not a big audiobook listener. And neither is my assistant. I do have a beta listener, but she does immersion reading. So she is like looking at the book as she's listening to the audio. So most of the stuff that she picks up is like inconsistencies or mistakes. Whereas like my assistant, who kind of alpha reads as like, a few chapters as I write, she was listening to it and she's like, I can't tell, like, it's weird because all of a sudden I'm like, what is he talking about? And like, why are we somewhere else? And, in the text, it looks like an ellipses and then, italics and then an ellipses on the way back out because it's set like right into the middle of a scene. It's not at the beginning where you say like 10 years ago. So I just was like, I don't want to mark it with, like it's so seamless in print. And then I was like, I don't want to mark it with a timestamp in audio because it just feels really clunky because he's like, sitting on a roof and then like it triggers a memory, which is, what was kind of what I was going for. And so I was talking with my producer about it. And I listened to a couple other audiobooks too. And it is like, I think if you're not an audiobook person, you're like, wait a second, what's happening? Right. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you listen to lots of them, you're just like, oh, it's a flashback. And so she was like, well, if you don't want to do the timestamp, we could do this little whoosh noise. And she sent me all these samples. And I was like, that sounds like my email coming in on my computer. I don't like that either. And I'm sure she was like, oh my God, Elsie. And then she was like, okay, this isn't going to sound as good, but I'll do it on my computer. And then if you like it, we can talk to the sound engineers. And yeah, she just put on this like light kind of reverb sound. Like it sounds like you're in a changing room or like a echoey bathroom kind of. And we like lengthened the pause. And so she sent me that. And I was like, you know what? I kind of like that. I kind of feel like that works. And then, yeah, when we got it back from the sound engineering, I was like, you know what? Let's try it. Let's like, who knows what it'll be. But so many people have commented. So, and even she was like, I've never done this before, but I can see myself doing it in the future. So I was like, you just needed someone who was not an audiobook person to be like,
now I have to listen to it.
Yeah, you do. Oh my gosh.
Like Corey said. She's got to listen to it on a reread. I love it. You're just like changing the audiobook industry.
Yeah, there we are. But no, I'm so happy because I was like, oh, I don't know. Or will people think this is a mistake? Because sometimes you listen to one and it's like the quality is off. And so I was like, I really don't want it to sound like it was like a error like it. So yeah. And it was hard because I think I had sent notes that were like, that was like, you have to send all these like narrator notes. And so I put the ages, but in some of them he's like, 16 or 24. And I'm like, he doesn't sound really young at that age. It's not really like, you don't use a kid's voice. So
yeah. Did you pick Teddy to narrate?
I did. I like kind of begged Teddy. I was like, listen, like my reader group, everybody, he is like my number one requested narrator. And I feel like that actually changes from author to author depending on your readership. But Teddy came up the most, like far and away. Teddy and Jason Clark are like the two tops. So yeah, it was, he was really gracious and kind of, fitted into his schedule like right after Christmas. So I owe Teddy one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. And when, you probably get this question all the time, so I apologize, but when is the Gold Rush Ranch series coming to audio?
This year. I don't know for sure because I sold my rights to Tantor, so they are producing them, and it's just way slower than when I do it. I'm so used to indie publishing and doing it all on my own, and it's like snap, snap, get it done. But anything that kind of gets moved off into like publishers is super slow. So we just cast off to the races, and so yeah, it'll be a bit still.
Can you tell us who's cast? Or
I was just about to ask.
Okay, yeah. So that it's also harder to pick like the narrators that you want. But I got CJ Bloom for Billy because I love CJ. And she's going to be in Denver, so I'm really excited to meet her.
She is, yeah.
Yeah. And then JF Harding, who did Icebreaker. He doesn't have quite as many credits, but I think his voice will be really good for Vaughn. It's a good match, not too growly or gruff or whatever. So yeah, hopefully we get going on the rest of them, but the contract, they have to have them done this year. So they will be this year.
Cool.
Otherwise I'll do them myself. Yeah.
We have Monica telling us all of her favorites. Oh yeah, Sebastian York.
Oh, I love Sebastian
York. Yeah. Yeah. Sebastian York. I love his voice for sure. Oh, hi, Caitlin.
Yes.
You love a false start Kickstarter book. Yes, me too. I'm really excited. We did a Kickstarter box with some other small town authors, and Janelle from Lila Junco designed her very first cover, and it's gorgeous. It's in my reader group, or I can send you a link to it too, but
okay.
It's all like hand drawn. She did the wildflowers from it, and then it's like it looks like an old gardening book or something. It's like a very vintage kind of vibes. And yeah, I'm really excited, and I'm excited for her too. When I asked her, she was like, "Oh, I don't know if I can do a cover," and I was like, "Yes, you can."
Her illustrations are so pretty on her tarot cards. So.
Right? I know. I was like, I just want like a line drawing, something simple. Other people were doing like very like cartoony, and I was like, I don't know if I can bring myself to do cartoon, but like cartoon flowers I might be able to, because it's a huge theme in there. It's not like just flowers for the sake of being flowers. So yeah, so it's beautiful. I can't wait to hold it.
I was gonna say I don't remember seeing the cover, so I was like, did I miss where it was?
It's in my Facebook group. I think I have it on my phone here too, though, somewhere.
And is it available to purchase right now?
It's not. It was in a Kickstarter box, so it has to stay exclusive to the Kickstarter for a set amount of time. And then I can do whatever I want with it. So I will figure that out. Oh my gosh, I don't know where it is now. I would have thought I saved it in my favorites, but I have so many covers. Oh, here. My gosh, it's very reflective, and clearly I
saw that.
It's pretty.
And so on the background, the script in there that's kind of like burnt out is I sent her like a Word doc with all the notes that Griffin sends Nadia while he's away, and so she actually put those, like burnt them out onto like the cream background, so it's like his notes in the background. Yeah, it's really pretty. Yeah.
We had two questions also about the original covers of Gold Rush Ranch.
Oh, yes. They will come back probably this summer once I am like finished all my signings. When I get back from London, probably. My agent wanted like the discrete cover. It was just a whole ISBN thing. And Amazon makes it really annoying for us to put up. Like, I wish we could just put 2 paperbacks attached to the main listing, but instead we have to go make a whole new listing, and it has to have something like 10% different content in it. So I was trying to get around doing that, but it's, what's funny is I did my signed order forms like off my own website in the fall, and I had so many damages that one of the replacements I sent out was my own copy of A False Start. So I don't even have a people cover of it. So I was like, okay, they have to come back now.
I know I asked you because that's the only one I'm missing too. And I'm like, I can't.
Oh, yeah, you messaged me. I was like,
yeah.
So, you know what? I think that might be my favorite of the people covers for that series. So I searched so long for that stock photo and was so excited when I found it because I was like, I don't think I've seen this on a cover before, and stock photos are so brutal to look through. So yeah, I do really love that one. Yeah.
You said A False Start?
A False Start. Yeah. Oh yeah, you've got it.
Yeah.
That's
I had all of these covers but a photo finish, and I found this on the used section of Amazon and like prayed that it was the original cover that I could get.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yes.
Amazon is such a mess though, because when I was ordering my discreet ones, like I switched them over and I wanted them so bad, and they just kept sending me. They sent me like the discreets of like books 2, 3, and 4, and then book 1 twice. They sent me the people cover, and I was like, oh my god, Amazon, get it together. But yeah, so yes, they will come back. They will.
And what is your preference? Do you like the discreet or the people?
I like them both. I think for the first series, I really like the discreet covers, mostly just because now that I'm doing like custom photos, I am like, oh, I see that photo everywhere. And I think I only notice it because I'm an author. I don't think that readers notice it, but I'm like, oh, that's on a Lucy Score book, or like that's on a Claire Kingsley book, or like, so I love my, I love them both, but I do really like the watercolor horse ones because I'm a horse girl. So, and then for the Chestnut Spring series, I think I am partial to the people, like the couple covers. Because I don't know, I just love the photos. But I like the other, I like them both. I wouldn't have done them if I didn't like them. But yeah, I do love my couple covers. And I love the font, like this like very dainty whatever. That's definitely one of my favorites.
Do you know what color book 4 is?
We talked about this.
Yes, I do. It's like a kind of a coral, like peachy color. Yeah.
We're guessing.
Were you?
We were like yellow or orange.
Yeah, well, we tried orange, and with the photo, it just was like, I also was like, I want it to still be like pretty feminine colors, which is kind of what we stuck to. And I was like, oh, orange looks very like, I don't know, JT Gasinger or something like that. Like I was like, it's just like a little too like vibrant. So we toned it down, and then she matched it to the sky. There's like this kind of coral color in the sky, and we were like, hey, it's different enough from the pink that it'll work. And then the last one is a green, but it's like a kind of a pistachio sort of color. It's very specific, I know, but it's like a lighter green. So it's really pretty too. Yeah.
It still looks so good.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited to see them all together.
I love that you asked that, Jess, because I
know.
Okay. So this person said they loved how you depicted anxiety, especially with a man. So that was Jasper in Powerless. And I'm thinking that she means her husband really related to Jasper. How was your experience writing Jasper in Powerless and depicting that?
Yeah, it was there was parts that were hard. I actually found like I was Jasper, I relate to his anxiety. So there was like definitely parts of it where I was like, ooh, I don't even like writing about this. But I think it was true to, maybe not like extreme, anxiety, but like just these moments or these like invasive, like intrusive sort of thoughts about yourself that you don't even necessarily realize you have until you start, noting them. But yeah, Jasper was hard to write sometimes because he made me sad. And Sloan was a challenge because I feel like so many of my heroines start off really strong, like right out of the gate. And I wanted her to be a bit different. But I also was like, oh, you know, readers are really hard on heroines. So I also was like, I don't want her to be this like wet blanket either. She has to be this like perfect balance of, you know, redeemable almost, or like, yeah, but I feel like they both grew so much, which is what I really loved. But I'm happy to hear that. And a lot of people have said this about Jasper, and that they really related to him. And I think, I always think that, I like it when a hero in a book has a vulnerability, or, you know, like Cade had some insecurities and Rhett has some insecurities. Like, I just think it's totally unreal. I like them to be like dominant and alpha in the bedroom, but I also like them to have these like little insecurities that they have to like open up for too. So it's not just, yeah, it's like, there's something really intimate about that to me. Mm-hmm. You love how my heroes go to therapy? Me too. More men should go to therapy.
Yeah.
In real life, so I send them in books.
Amen, sister.
Yeah. Well, some of them it's like you have to. I mean, I also, and I plan to write this too, is like there is a stigma about therapy too, right? And a lot of people, it's not. I sometimes see comments about people are like, these characters need to go to therapy, and I think it's a hard line, because like you don't want to show something totally toxic, but there's also like people who don't want to go to therapy and they know they should, and maybe they can afford to go, or maybe they can't afford to go, or, you know, there's all these different aspects of it too. So I plan to touch on that eventually also. But yeah, I had fun writing Cole's book, where he just was really into therapy. And he needed it, so that was good.
I love him.
Yeah.
This is a funny question. So this person is from Argentina, and they love your books, and they want to know what rolling your lips means.
It's like this, kind of pressing them together and then like rolling them back out, I guess. I've been told I say that a lot, and my heroes growl a lot. So, but I think sometimes I write things that I know I do when I'm nervous. Like, I'll play with my hair. Like, I've started putting my hair up for interviews because I'm not nervous, but it's like a nervous tick that I'll start doing these things, or like little weird shit with my lips, apparently. So, yeah. Or I've pressing your lips together, or I saw a review once that took a star off because it's impossible to nibble your lips. I was like, so sometimes I cry. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Just crying?
Suspend reality for a minute.
You're a little too nitpicky there.
Yeah, but I do write. It also makes me realize that I do write a lot of little like cues, you know, like little tags on it. I put a lot of body language into what I'm writing. So I think it comes up a lot. I have to take out a lot of the word look. My editor every single time is like, you have 400 versions of look in this. Because he looked at her, he looked down, and I'm like, gazed, glanced, just going through and replacing all these, trying to cut it in half or something maybe. So yeah.
Oh, it's funny having your word used too much. I did want to ask, so like you have the Gold Rush Ranch and then you have Chestnut Springs, and they're all like ranch horse kind of related. I feel like this new one was like the most removed, but they still had ranch stuff happening. Yeah. So do you have an equestrian background like this person asked? They said it was super accurate, so I'm assuming yes.
I do. I too was a show jumper. That was my background. Well, I started writing at like 5. And then all through high school, I got super competitive. I went to high school part-time in like a sports program so I could compete. After university, I put my finance degree to great use and went on to train professionally and coach. So I did that for a while until I got pregnant and we moved with my husband's job, and then the pandemic hit. So Horses have always been a huge part of my life, pretty much until like the last few years. And I'm sure I'll go back to it because it's, I don't know. If you are a horse girl, it's like you always have the bug and it's always there. Like I know I can always go back when I have the time. So yeah, I do have that background. And I think with my first series, especially, it was like writing something I knew, right? I was like, and I love the setting. I love the, like kind of the dichotomy of the affluence and the wealth and the prestige of one side of it. And then like the kind of behind the scenes part where there's like, you know, you're mucking stalls and you're tossing hay and you're, you know, the farrier is coming. And like, I'm sure I'll go back to kind of like a little bit more equestrian stuff. I'm trying to not be, my first series, I got some feedback that people were like, I don't really like horses, so I don't want to read it. And I kind of was like, hey, but it's not about horses. It is just the setting. So I think that's just me learning to like balance those things. But I did say to someone the other day that I definitely want to write a heroine that is a equestrian, like a show jumper, because I just feel like I would know that really well. So yeah, that's the background there.
I love that because I was going to ask, since Jasper's a hockey player, are you thinking of writing any other sports romances? So that would count as a sports romance if she was a show jumper, but any other plans for other sports romances?
Yeah, I think this is what I love about, like, I don't think I would do like a true hockey series. I mean, never say never. But I think it's what I love about the small town tag is like, I can write whatever I want. Like I could write a small town billionaire. I definitely, I like athletes, like for a personal, like there's somebody in another live was like, oh, competence porn. And I was like, yes, I like when a hero is really good at something. Like he could be really good at, you know, carpentry or fixing cars or, you know, like the chief of police or like, I don't know, but as long as they're like really good at something, I find that to be very attractive. And so an athlete is like a obvious choice for that for me. I liked doing the bull rider in A False Start. Griffin's like a retired football player. But I will do, I don't know if I'll do another hockey player per se. Probably. It's very Canadian. But I have, yeah, I mean, anybody can visit a small town.
You can always do baseball. We're lacking in that.
Yeah, you like baseball. I don't know anything about baseball. That's the thing is like hockey. I'm a hockey fan. Like I grew up watching hockey. We watch hockey now. So it was easy. I dated a couple of them. So it was just easy to pack in like a bunch of what I know.
Right.
But it'll be awkward when I tell my husband I have to go date a baseball player.
Right, babe. It's my shadow one for the day.
Cheyenne would love to help.
For accuracy.
Yeah. I will help. And my husband can stay home. He can stay home.
Perfect.
We have someone saying they're a total city girl with no knowledge of the equestrian world and they love the setting.
Yay! Yeah, I love the track and like ranch dichotomy. Like that the track is, I don't know if any of you guys have been to the races, but like the fancy hats and the dresses and like the drinks and all the events and everybody's dressed up and then you go behind the scenes and it's just like chaos and drama and grudges and gossip and yeah, I could totally write more stuff like that. It'd be a good suspense storyline. I'll tell Catherine.
For your oh my gosh, I just had a question and it literally just left my mind. What was I gonna? Oh, the banter. So you have such good banter in your romances, and is that something like you and your family have? Like, where do you get the inspiration for your banter, especially in the Chestnut Spring series?
Yeah, I think we do. I think we do talk like that. My husband's very. I was about to say sarcastic, but my mom is not. Like doesn't have like my dad and I talk a lot that way and we can banter, but my mom is not the same. And she went she had this moment about how sarcasm is like a very low form of humor, and my husband was like kind of insulted, so he did some research, and apparently it's verbal irony that he uses. So anyways, it's like a whole thing. But yes, we do. And you know, it's funny because him and I will talk like that, and it's very dry. And like our son has started picking up on it, and sometimes he'll say things because he's 7 and he's like testing those boundaries of like humor or whatever. And sometimes I'm like, no, buddy, that's not it. That's not it. Like you swing and miss, but no, we gotta do that. So yeah, the banter, and it, you know, the banter is funny because sometimes it just comes out of nowhere for me. Like I had a moment yesterday where I was writing, and it was just like bing, and I had like this whole little exchange that I thought was funny. And I think I don't know, every now and then I just think of something and I'm like, I think it's funny, and I just hope other people think it's funny too. So I was really worried about the tail babies, I have to confess. I was like, have I gone too far? And then my husband was like, that's not even a real thing. And I was like, hey, you're right. The Harvey jokes.
Does he like help with your writing then? Do you talk it through with him, or?
Yeah, he doesn't read my books, but he is a really good sounding board for like I'm not even like a big plotter when I write, so sometimes I get stuck, or sometimes I'm trying to think of something for a character, and I'll like explain their personality to him, and he'll be like, "Well, what about this?" So he's good at like just kind of like the spitballing, or they could do this, or I'll say, you know, do you think a person would ever do this? Like I always am like, does this seem realistic? It's like I always get hung up on that, and so he's really good with that kind of stuff, kind of being a good sounding board and talking out plot stuff with me. So, or even story ideas. I told him I wanted to write a wrestler, like a retired like WWE, like has anybody watched there's a documentary called like Dark Side of the Ring, and it's like, yeah, anyways, whatever. I was like, oh my gosh, I used to watch that and pretend I was watching it for the storyline, like WWE. I don't know how old I was, but it was like definitely like an awakening, right? Like it was like these really good looking muscular men in like tight shorts and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I love the storyline. It was like the teenage girl version of Playboy. But anyway, so I was like, I really want to write a character who's like not doing it anymore necessarily, but like that's where he came from. And he was like, I've got so many ideas. He's like filling in like this notes and stuff. So we'll see. If that book ever gets written, you'll be like, I remember when Elsie.
I don't think I've ever read a character that was WWE.
Yeah.
Right? I know.
Same.
Well, I had a huge crush on The Rock.
Fair.
Yeah, I mean,
who didn't? I feel like that's a whole generation.
Yeah.
And now he's like, I don't know, in Moana. It's very strange.
yeah.
I'm horrible with character names. Luke is from Heartless, right? Is he the son in Heartless? Okay. So that was also, I really love that. Did you base him off of your son at all, or where did you get his character? Yeah,
he was totally based on my son. And while I was writing that book, I think my son had just turned 6, so he's 7 now. But while I was writing it, it was like right in that age range, and yeah, like the humor or the odd swear word that slips out, like not ideal. But yeah, Luke was definitely based on my son. And even like then my notes section would turn into, while I was writing, like my husband and I will hide and jump out and scare him. And so the one day him and I were hiding to jump out and scare my husband. And usually you yell like boo or like surprise or something. And he was like, chipmunks. And I was just remember being like, what? Why would you yell chipmunks like that? I don't know. Like, I'm so curious what part of his brain that came from. So then I was immediately like in my notes section being like, they yell chipmunks. So little things like that. I mean, or like anybody who has a kid, like they've been sick and you're sitting there and it's like they're just barfing everywhere and you like can't keep up with it. And then of course you get sick because how can you not? So I felt like that was a bit of a like ode to the throes of motherhood at that phase too. Like it was not hard to write those scenes. And I haven't read a lot of books with kids, but I agree that sometimes, like I read one the other day and she would come home from kindergarten and have a nap. And I was like, oh my God, if I let my kindergartner nap, like it'd be like 11 o'clock and he'd be like, I'd be passing out and he'd be partying. Like I was just like, I don't think that's a thing. I mean, maybe, but maybe I'm weird, but yeah. So it's hard. It's the same thing with the horses or the kids. Once you kind of like know something, you're kind of like, yeah. So yeah, Luke, based on my little guy for sure.
And I just really loved Luke though in the book because he felt like a very fleshed out character. And a lot of times authors use them just like as a plot device to move the plot along. But I like it when the kids have such a unique personality and really help carry the story along. So
right. Oh, I love that. Yeah, no, he was fun to write. And it was perfect because I was like, oh, the grandpa's really involved. So like he would be off doing things sometimes. Like I think sometimes it's hard with like pets or kids because you're like, where are they right now? And what are they doing? And like, it's just one more person to like worry about, right?
I really liked too because you could actually, I mean, we got to experience his relationship with Willa growing too. And a lot of the times it's you don't see that. You just see like the kid being around and I don't know, interacting with the couple, but like the bond that they had together made it even better.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah.
I had a lot of questions about the next book, which I'm pretty sure you've already announced, right? I think it was in the end of Powerless that it's going to be Winter's book. And I'm really interested because it's Winter and Theo, right? And they're very opposite personalities. And I would say Powerless, from what I've read of your book so far, is definitely more on the serious side than what Flawless and Heartless was. So what is the vibe going to be of Winter's book? Is it going to be more serious?
I think that the vibe of Winter's book is kind of a split. I feel like it's a little bit down the middle because she definitely has some wounds and some pretty serious insecurities. I feel very protective of Winter. Anytime someone says she doesn't like her, I'm like, I don't like you. Kidding. I do. I just like, I think because I've known from the very beginning, right? Like this is something that I sometimes have to remind myself of is like, I know where the series is going, but the readers don't, right? So they're like, I have to catch them up to where my head already is. So Winter's book is a little more serious than Heartless or it's probably similar to Flawless in tone a little bit more. Theo is very swoony and very he's playful, but he's mature. Like he's like he's a man. Like he is very responsible and very respectful, but also like funny and good for her because I think he lightens her up a little bit. And she just hasn't had that. So to me, they work really well that way because he can kind of show her what she hasn't had before. So it's a split. I always try and keep them a little bit funny. I feel like Heartless came out a little bit funnier than I meant for it to. Like it just, the characters just kind of took over, like it was like, it felt right. And I just am like going with my gut on some of these things. And that was my thing with Powerless too. I was like, I can't make this funny, like it, or funnier than it, organically is. So will Winter fix her relationship with her dad in Reckless? I think that I haven't gotten to that part yet. I'm still writing, but I like her and Summer definitely fix their relationship, which I love for them. And her dad, I think that we'll see kind of like the foundation for that get laid. I love Kip because he's funny and flawless and stuff. But the further I get into her book, the more I'm like, wow, he really did not come through for her. But he really came through for Winter. So he's very human, I guess. So yes, I am. That will be an aspect of what happens, kind of in the wrapping up of it all. Yeah.
Okay. And I do like how you've kind of like woven their story throughout the series, because you definitely see more of Winter in book 3, and like interacting with Summer. So it just makes me more intrigued to see how the stories. And you set up her with Theo really well. Like, she's super annoyed. She's like, "Go away," and he's like, "No."
He is like full golden retriever energy, and just like he falls first vibe.
So is it a pretty significant age gap between them, or is it
no, so when they meet in that scene, he is 26 and she is 29.
Okay.
So yeah. So, and I think in the one chapter, she says something about him being too young for her. And he's like, I'm 3 years younger than you. Like, okay, don't ever bring that up again.
I was like, do we have a cougar here? Is this?
No. Like, the Winter's so old. And I'm like, how do you figure? Like, anyways, but yeah, no, so she's not. Yeah.
Okay.
So they say Theo is Brazilian. Do you know anybody from Brazil?
So Theo's dad is Brazilian. Theo's mom is Canadian. And so he will be very Canadian, but I do have a Brazilian developmental editor working on it for me. So she'll be able to give some feedback. And I have another book talker who's Brazilian. And I was like, I need a sexy saying. I need a sexy Brazilian saying. So she's been sending me stuff like, or whatever, Portuguese. But I was like, something that is like definitely like feels, culturally appropriate. I was like, something that his mom would have, or his dad would have said to his mom, I think is what I asked for. So I've got some clips from her, but he won't be like, I know I've had some, like, I've had some people be like, oh, is he going to speak Portuguese? And I don't think he'll still be very Canadian, but it'll be an aspect of it because the PBR, like in real life, the bull riders, some of the best bull riders in the world are Brazilian, and it's huge in Brazil. So his heritage is kind of like a nod to that, not just only being like white people, basically. For sure. Yeah. Some of the best, really. Is everyone go ahead.
So I was going to ask, like, along with this, because I read a photo finish, and that is the sister to the heroes in the beginning of the series. Did you know you were going to eventually write their books as a separate series? And do you plan out every couple at the beginning of the series? Like, for sure who you're writing?
Yeah, I did know, or I thought that I would probably go there next. There's mentions of all her brothers in a photo finish, I think. All 3 of them. And so I kind of figured that I might go in that direction. Looking back, I say that, but I don't know if in the moment I had like such a clear vision for what I would be doing until I kind of worked my way through the series a bit more. And usually I have a good idea. Like when I sat down to plan this series, like I knew who all the couples would be. That's not something that I'm like changing as I go. So, I knew who my 5 couples would be. I knew I was doing 5 books. I knew I needed 5 photos and 5 words with less at the end of them. I've come up with so many more since then too. But yeah, so it's pretty mapped out. And so for how many more books, there's 2 more books left in this series. So it'll be 5 books total. Harvey and Cordelia. Harvey is not getting a book, much to pretty much everyone's dismay except mine. But he will be, never say never. I don't know. But he will be living his best secondary character life in all of the books because he adds the best comic relief. and is so lovable and gives really good advice. So he's like the perfect figure to have in there. And who knows? I think Cordelia is still hanging around in this next book. So
we love strong side characters that just we fall in love with.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm assuming Bo's getting the 5th book. I don't know if you've announced that yet.
Yeah. Bo, I'm saving Bo for last. And so he will get the last one, the best one. So I felt like he needed, after what he went through, just a little time to decompress. I want him to be like sexy traumatized, not like sad traumatized. So like just a little distance from things. And so this book will come out in the fall. And you have met his love interest. Yes.
Shoot. Now I'm going to go look.
I'm going to go reread.
Yeah, I'm sneaky like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've probably even met characters that I'll put in the next series. So, yeah.
What is the next series?
It's still pretty up in the air. Because I've got time still. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to set it in, we visited the town in Powerless, so Rose Hill, where the lake is and the bar. It'll be based on a town that I vacation. My grandpa had a cabin at, and we vacation there every summer. So it's kind of set in the Rockies. It'll be a little bit more like right now we're on the prairies. We were kind of on like the coastal plains. And so this will be kind of right in the middle in the mountains and just like a little bit more wild and rugged kind of mountain vibes, I think. Yeah. Okay. You know who Bo's Lady is?
I think
I'm going to say.
I think lots of people are guessing it now. Every time people were guessing winter, I was like, oh my gosh, everybody's going to hate me. But
no way.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting.
Where did you get the idea from for the titles? Why did you decide they all had to end in less?
I think I just liked the symmetry of it. For some reason, I was really stuck on flawless being, I don't know, I just liked the word. Titles are so hard to come up with too, that aren't cheesy. And like, with my first series, they were all like racing terms. So that felt pretty easy to come up with. And then I was like, okay, like, kind of trying to brand it a little bit more like straight contemporary. And yeah, I just had flawless stuck in my head. And then I got all weird about like, well, what if these like, they've been done before, but I mean, lots of books have similar titles. And I think as long as they're not, brand new. So I just rolled with it. And the publicist that I was using at that time, she really liked the titles too. So we started working on them, but then it's weird. Like my designer put the title on the book and I was like, man, the more I look at this word, the more it doesn't look like it's spelled right. Like, I don't know what it is, but it looked weird. So it was like, we need to break it up somehow. So we tried putting like flaw on one line and less on like another line and like offsetting them, kind of trying to like differentiate it a little bit. And then I was like, what if we put that dictionary dot in there? I don't know what it's called, but what if we put that dot? And as soon as we did it, everybody like, her PR, like everybody was just like, that's the one. So
I love it.
That's so interesting to hear the process of just like those little details that you don't even think are a big deal, but like.
Yeah. And then she was like, so then like, she's a great designer, but then she, even for like this part, oh my gosh, this was very confusing for me. I know. The little squiggle or whatever. Cause I was like, do I do, Chestnut Spring series. I didn't want to do book 1, 2, 3 because I think they can be read out of order. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so she was like, I'm going to do something really feminine, like a little swirl or squiggle or something. So then that's what she came back with. And yeah, we kind of play with the bouquet and the like lights and we added some like stuff to the sky. It's amazing what a designer can do. So yeah. But yeah, those titles, I don't know. And I don't know what I'm going to do next. That's like I hear people complain about writing blurbs, and I'm like, oof, give me a blurb, but it's the titles that kill me. Can't change that. The blurb I can go in and fix, but yeah. Anyways.
I haven't looked recently, but I know when Powerless came out, all 3 books were in the top 100 on Amazon for the Chestnut Spring series, which is
yes, girl,
absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What do you think it is about this series that just makes people obsessed? Because I think as soon as Flawless came out, you were everywhere and people have not stopped obsessing.
Yeah. It's something I spend a lot of time trying to put my finger on so that I can continue to like deliver it. I think I do think that there's a little bit of an aspect of like Yellowstone is very hot right now, and it has that kind of vibe. Not the same. Obviously, there's not like gangster cowboys or like whatever is happening there, but that like rugged sort of small town. I feel like small town is often very like Gilmore Girls-y and kind of quirky. And that's not where like my preference lies. So I think it's like the small town setting and the cozy feeling of the found family, but then this also like really like raw, real storyline that isn't like too rom-com or too dark or too like there's I think a balance in there maybe that I try to strike. And I do think that there's something about like people are always like, would you write somewhere not in Canada? And like I could, but I think there's something about like transporting yourself to somewhere that'll like, or a lot of people have been, but a lot of people haven't been, that feels just like it's like that little extra dose of escapism. I don't know for sure. It's definitely something. I always am like, is it the light? Is it the burn? Like a little bit of a slow burn? Is it
it's your heroes? It's your heroes.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's everything. It's everything. But you write them so relatable, and they feel like someone that you could actually meet in real life. And
yeah.
It's like it helps us relate as readers too, and makes it more like on our level.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why it's hard to relate with a billionaire hero, because not many of us are billionaires too. So like, I mean, I wish. Yeah, but understanding the struggle that they go through, especially blue collar's hot anyways. They're just
blue collar. Yeah. I know. Well, somebody was asking me about writing Marriage of Convenience, and I was like, yes, I really want to do it, but I need there to be a really good reason, because like I really have to suspend reality to be like, oh, my uncle said I can't have the family business unless I'm married. I'm like, does that happen? Like maybe if you're like super fancy trust fund kid or something, maybe, but that's not like, it has to be like a healthcare issue or like a visa issue or like
pregnant with someone else's baby.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't write books.
Baby.
Like, I don't know. Save the day a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, totally. Actually, it's funny. So Winter's book is Unplanned Pregnancy and Secret Baby. And I was talking to Nikki Ash about it because I was like, I'm really nervous. People say they hate this trope. And she was like, girl, people do not hate this trope. And then she was like sending me screenshots, and I was like, from her group or something. And I was like, okay, there's Caitlin. There's like all these people I know that were like, get her pregnant or something like that. Okay, perfect. I'll be fine.
See, I love Secret Baby. I love when they hide it. I love that. I struggle with surprise pregnancy, but I mean, if anybody can do it, you can.
It happens very like it. There's like 2 timelines basically. So you get like the right when they meet, it's like one night stand, and then we like jump ahead. Mm-hmm. And she doesn't hide it, but I don't want to ruin it, but so there's angst. There's like, you're waiting for that shoe to drop because it's going to happen. And I was like, I'm having so much fun with it because it gives like single mom vibes, right? Like because they're doing it on their own. And then there's also like you get to see the guy all of a sudden become this dad who's all like swoony and protective, and like all these things start coming out in them. And I'm like, why do people not love this? Like, this is like, they love a single dad. But anyways, so I'm having fun with that trope. And it's funny because it's hard to not be like, oh my God, I saw a TikTok and somebody said they hate it, and everybody's going to hate it. But it really makes sense. Like, it's like what we were just talking about with like, if things are realistic. And for me, I'm like, this really makes sense for these characters and how things play out between them. And so I think it's one of those things where I'm like, just going with my gut, and it just feels fresh. Like, I'm like, oh, I haven't done this before. So yeah, it kind of keeps it exciting. Yeah.
Cheyenne's going to have to break out her DILF's hat.
Did you see our pictures?
No, a DILF's hat?
Oh, I wore a hat around Epcot that said "I love DILFs." It's because I've
been doing hashtag make Theo a daddy when I talk.
I love
I'm like, that's gonna have to trend.
You know how much attention you get from things like that? You should have seen how many people approached me.
Yeah. And yes, I agree with you. Like, having seen my husband become a dad, and then like, man, even sometimes at school pickup, I'm like, oh, I haven't seen that dad before. And he's like playing at the park with his kid. And I'm like, wow, that's really attractive. Like, there is something about it that's like biologically, like, I don't know, in there somewhere.
I love that. I'm so much more excited too that you said there's 2 timelines too, and that it's angsty, because I live for angst. So
yeah. No, it's definitely it doesn't all happen at once. So
okay.
Yeah. Surprises. There's always some surprises.
I'm so excited. Even though Powerless just came out, and everybody go read it if you haven't.
I know.
Like, what's next?
We move so fast in indie publishing, though. It's like, hey, on to the next one.
Yeah. And when is the next one coming out?
June 9th.
June, okay.
Yeah, June 9th. And then I think it'll be October 6th, I think.
Okay, for the next one.
Yeah. So I don't have a pre-order up for that or anything, but that's like the general plan. So yeah. And I have to, it's funny because I can't really, once you start booking like like your editor, your proofreader, your narrators, because then there's 2 different narrators and the production and whatever, it's like you can't move it anymore. You just have to stay up and write until you make that deadline. So yeah.
And you do have your Gold Rush Ranch series, which I feel like Chestnut Springs is much more popular than that series. What do you think is an underrated book that you wish more people would read that you don't see a lot of them reading?
The Front Runner. Yeah, The Front Runner. It's book 3 in that series. I don't think you have to read the first 2 for it to make sense, but the hero in that book is not... I don't want to call him the villain, because I'm always like, man, some people act like he like kicked a puppy or something really awful, but he is not well liked in books 1 and 2. And then you kind of do this like 180 on him through her eyes, which is very different as like the veterinarian that she's between like all the farms kind of. So she sees him in different moments than the people on the main ranch do. And he is still one of my favorite. Yeah, he's like, he's just so like, he knows what he wants, and what he wants is her. And he is like patient and plays his cards and is just very single-minded and swoony. And I think there's a good twist in that one too that I really like. Yeah, I like that one.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited to go back and read the series. I only read a photo finish, which is really good. So
yeah, no, I love that one. Yeah. So.
And the reveal, I don't want to say what it is, it's a spoiler, but the reveal about the hero.
I know, yeah. Everybody loves Cole. I feel like he's still a fan favorite. Like, even people are like, I love Cade, but I still love Cole just like a little bit more. And I'm like, wow, okay. So, and yeah, Cole was a super special hero to me. I guard that spoiler so tightly. So I'm like, I wish I could say more that like I have a personal connection to these things. But he's pretty special to me too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is a really funny question.
I was like drinking at the wrong time. Yeah, I'm totally a butt girl. That's also why I like hockey players. They've got great butts also.
You know who else does? Baseball players.
Elsie and Cheyenne, like hall pass for the week.
Yeah.
We were I was at a conference in Houston when the Astros won the World Series, and I was with like Candy Steiner, Laura Pavlov, Anna Huang, like a whole bunch of us went out for dinner, and we were at the restaurant across from the stadium that the owner of the Astros also owns. And we were like all having wine. Like we didn't care about baseball. It was just like they had truffle pasta, and we were like, we want truffle pasta. And so then it was like just filled, like it was like the game ended and like everything just went crazy. Like we were trying to walk back to our hotel. People were just stopping in the street and getting out of their car and dancing. And yeah,
That's amazing.
It was like, as a Canadian, I'm like, wow, baseball, huh? Like that is us with hockey. But baseball is like not as big of a thing. So that was exciting to see. And then some of the what team were they playing? I don't even remember. But a bunch of them were staying at our hotel.
We did they from Seattle or something? I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Some of the girls were like, I mean, I know enough from like hockey that they're not like out on the town. Like they're in their room, they're getting rest, they're eating, they're napping, like they're athletes, right? And the girls were like, maybe they'll be at the bar for like a couple. I was like, no, they're not going to be at the bar. But they were like, I'm ready to live my baseball romance. But no, it was not to be.
There's not enough.
Oh, it was the Phillies they were playing.
Oh, the Phillies. Yes, it was. And we could see like the staff around with like all their stuff on. So yeah,
that would be cool to experience though.
Maybe that's what I should use, as maybe somebody snuck out of their room. Then I'm like, oh, I could write a baseball romance. Maybe might have to be off season.
Not too much baseball. We are coming up. I mean, we are a little over an hour. So Cheyenne or Morgan, did you have any other final questions?
I don't think so. You pretty much answered everything.
Yeah.
My question was, do you have a favorite character that you've written? So it could be a side character or a hero, heroine. Just who's your favorite character you've written?
I think probably Summer. I always go back to Summer because I think that there's like a maturity about her that I really like, and a selflessness that I like aspire to. And even like watching her now, it's weird talking about these people I make up, but they feel very real to me. They like even watching her now with like Winter and her like capacity for forgiveness, and like just her moments of like having a crush on this guy and then it all coming out. I don't know. There's just something very endearing to me about Summer. Even if she's maybe not like the most exciting character, she's like a warm hug for me. Like I love going back to her. I feel the same way in my first series about Billy. Mm-hmm. Billy is just like, I don't know, there's something, maybe it's like my book one heroines. I don't know what it is, but I just am like attached, I think. Yeah. So she's probably,
you get to follow them through the whole series though. Mm-hmm. So
that's maybe why too, right? I get to plunk them in like right where I think they're needed. So yeah.
And are we going to see a lot of her in Winter's book, I'm assuming?
Yeah. Everybody kind of makes their own little appearances. Okay. Because everybody's living there kind of. I always have to throw Willa in for just like a one-liner here or there because she's too much fun. But yeah, they're all hanging out in Winter's book, and I think, I don't know if I haven't left a lot of breadcrumbs for like the heroine for Beau's book, but we'll see. I still have some words to go. So yeah.
You guys always leave the most exciting person for the end, like the one we are dying their romance. It's always the last book in the series.
Yeah. But I think I'm always like, also, is he the most exciting, or is he the most exciting because you can't have him? Do you know what I mean?
That might be it.
Yeah.
What?
That might be it. Yes. It's
Yeah.
like we want what we can't have. So yeah.
Exactly. No, he's coming.
Okay. I'm very excited. Last question. Who are some authors you recommend reading if people like your books?
People I recommend reading. This is not going to be exciting news to anybody who knows me really well, but I love Elizabeth O'Rourke. Her Devil series is like just one of my sorry, my dog is snoring. One of my favorites, like that book one, Deal with the Devil. The banter is so good, like truly laugh out loud, but not like slapstick, like funny. The heroine is really funny. So I love her series. I'm really excited for her new book that's coming out. I was like, can I have an arc? Because it's supposed to be super angsty. I think it's a love triangle. I don't know. Yeah, I know. So I just love her writing. I think other authors that I love. It's funny, I don't read a lot of small town romance. I know that's probably I should, but I love Catherine's books. But I especially, and I even said this to her the other day, I love the suspense. Like I don't read it for the spice, but I love like. It's almost like sometimes the spice is what keeps me turning the pages, like the tension of like wanting that to snap. But with her books, it's like, who is doing this to them? I need to know. So it's like a different type of tension. And I love that. And I adore her covers. They're all so beautiful. So that helps. I right now am reading The Naked Fisherman Duet by Julie Ann. And I am loving it.
I knew I loved you.
She's going to be in Denver, and I said to my husband, I was like, I'm taking my books to her table, like I'm ready. So,
Jess, this is your reason. I have been telling this girl so long to read those books.
It's really good. It's really, really good. The tension is really good, and Fisher is really, really hot. And I'm excited to see the heroine. I haven't started book 2 yet, but I already just know that like her development is going to be so killer because she's already changed so much in book 1, and she's so like dumb and virginal and like wholesome. And I'm just like, it's so funny. Like it's not laughing at her funny, like it's endearing. And then she has these moments of being like trying to act all grown up, and internally she's like, did he just say cock? Like she is so like inexperienced that it's like truly adorable. And
have you finished it yet?
I haven't finished. I'll probably finish it tonight. I'm almost done. Okay. Although I gotta say, I don't think this is a spoiler. I have a sinking feeling about the mom. I'm like, she was not at hair school. There's just no fucking way.
She wasn't. She wasn't.
Anyways, I'm like, something bad is about to happen. And then I text my PA and I was like, I should kill off more characters. Because I don't know. I just feel like something's coming. So yeah, I love a duet for that. The other book, and I listened to the audiobook and then I went out and got the paperback because I loved it so much, was Love and Other Words. That put me in the biggest slump. That book has no business being so perfect. I was just like, I shouldn't even write anymore. It was so good. Elliot is so adorable. And I don't always love really long flashbacks because for me, they can like really kill the tension. And I'm always just like, but what are they doing right now? But in that book, I actually think it like somehow added to it. Have you guys read it?
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Yeah. Those like the parts where they're talking, like they get close enough that they start talking about like if he like looks at porn and stuff, and she's like the same thing. Like there's just something so like, I don't know, adorable and awkward about it that I like just thrive on, I think. So yeah, I don't know. Oh, the other one I see now I'm doing audiobooks was Darling Venom, and I went and bought the paperback of that one too. I loved the audio. Sebastian York and Ava Erickson were.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're a good pair.
Yeah. So that's where my reading is at right now.
I love that you love love triangles.
I do. I like the ones that hurt. Oh, I just did the Cheyenne will know what it's Jessica Hawkins. I did the Violent Delights one.
Oh, did you?
I've done all the other ones now. I feel like I've done Cityscape Affair is still my favorite for sure.
Yeah. Did you read the Something in the Way yet?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wait, didn't you stop halfway through?
I stopped, but I finished it. I was ready to be hurt again. It hurts so bad, and then I'm like, I still like keep doing it. Yeah.
The last 2 books are the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, you didn't like it.
I love her writing.
Oh, okay.
No, they were good. They were super good.
I couldn't tell.
I'm excited for her to write more though, because I think it's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said that to someone the other day. I wonder if she has more coming. But yeah, one of my favorites for sure. Yeah. But I'll read anything. I went on a historical kick too. So
Local romances.
I know I actually was gonna message you. I was like, I've seen you hold up like historicals before. Sometimes I just need to switch. So
yeah, they're good. All right, that's all we have though. Thank you so much for being.
Thank you for having me. This was super fun.
Of course. Make sure if you have not yet, check out Powerless, and then we will have Reckless before we know it, and finally have Winter's book, and then Beau's book in October. So
perfect.
Very, very excited. Yes, and all your other books too, because you have your Gold Rush Ranch out still, and the rest of the Chestnut Springs on audio. So
yeah.
Okay. Exactly. Well, thank you for watching, and we will see you later. Bye.
Thanks for having me. Bye.